folks. Welcome to Yachts and Thoughts. Hope you're drinking your lemon ginger water. In this case, though, I'm drinking kombucha. I kind of, missed the boat tonight. The topic of the evening will be soul toll. Okay, soul toll. By definition, my definition. Soul toll is the toll one's actions take and embody in self over time. Basically what that means is the things you do have an effect, an overall effect. I mean, let's say if you take part in a poor diet, that'll resonate on your body. You'll probably gain weight, your skin will be fucked up. There's all sorts of things that can happen due to your diet. The same thing goes for your choices and your actions. Basically, I'll just say for me, I'm a drug addict and an alcoholic. At least I was, but that's what I identify with, so I know what's wrong with me and I know what not to do in my life. But at one point in time, I was happy-go-lucky. I was a good kid. And as certain experiences, as I had certain experiences in life, using drugs, relationships, I didn't really have a dad around, so I was somewhat malformed there. I was not prepared for the landscape of being like an independent person. So I made poor choices, just basically without any guidance, but those choices had an effect on how I processed the world. The vibration that I was on. At one point in time, I'm happy-go-lucky, I'm full of energy, and I'm vibrant, and I'm a kid. And then for a number of years, I made poor choices. And those choices took me from one spot as far as my mental state and brought me here. So at 21, I'm happy-go-lucky, I'm cool, I'm great. I start to have a host of experiences, which I'll cover in other videos down the line. But let's say by 28, I had already been to jail, a number of drug-related, I guess you would say maybe like mental breakdowns, maybe even. And I say that the using drugs thing. Like for me, I wasn't some drug addict on the streets. I wasn't signing. I wasn't doing any of that shit. Basically what I was doing was trying to function like a normal person. I'd go to the bar, I'd drink. Except if I drink, that would lead to me, maybe lusting for a woman. And one of the ways to make that situation really fun, easy, and swell is to have cocaine. So I'd make other poor choices, which, because that was the level that I was operating on, it made me, outside of inebriation, it made my vibration lower. It made me more parasitic, more predatory, I think. Things like that. The things that you're not supposed to do. The ways you're not supposed to see people is how I started to see people. And basically that was because the sum total of the choices that I had made had created this type of a person. At this point, I've been sober for 8 years, and I've made choices, hard choices, that in the beginning, doing the right thing felt wrong. So I've made hard, real choices, and what I've come to find is that after living a certain lifestyle, after making hard changes, I volunteered at a number of places. I really went through like just a transition of a person that I wasn't before. There's no way that I would do shit for anyone unless it benefited me directly. Now, it's a little bit easier to have partnerships. It's a little bit easier to trust people. It's a little bit easier to not be and or feel shame, at least as far as like my being. I'm happy with the person that I am now, but at one point I wasn't. But it took a long list and a certain type of, I'd say that, a certain type of dedication to trying to be something other than what I was before. So at one point in time, I'll say 28 years old, the toll that was taken on me based off the choices I made, I was a completely different person. The human being that I am now and the person I was at this other point in time aren't even the same person, even though biologically, of course, they are. But I'd say that mentally, there's been lots and lots of changes in another direction. At one point in time, I would take fluoxetine or Prozac because I had anxiety and depression. But after not only certain types of counseling, but other things like accountability for my actions, knowing how to practice, we'll call it macronutrients, but like knowing what I'm eating, knowing how what I'm eating is affecting me mentally, so making positive dietary choices, going to meetings in efforts to cure alcoholism or drug abuse. I just consider it to be an addictive personality. I mean, now I'm addicted to exercise. I'm addicted to learning. I'm addicted to trying to achieve things that make me a better person, as opposed to just trying to feel good. I'm addicted to discipline. I'm addicted to a number of things. There's a number of things that you can transfer from one area to another. Now, to make this all make sense, because I don't want to just ramble. Soul toll, the soul toll. That is the toll one's actions take and embody in self over time. If you feed a monster, it becomes a stronger monster. If you feed an angel, I'm assuming it becomes a stronger angel in the sense that we're feeding things for sustenance. Now, here's what I will say. If you're a person who is, at this point in time, I'm optimistic. But at one point in time, I was pessimistic. I'll put those definitions up. But optimism basically is thinking in a positive. Glass half full, pessimism, glass half empty. It's about losing or not. Yes, it's about losing. So if you feel that you're that type of person, where you feel that you stay in a negative vibration, or you have anxiety or depression like I did, the one tool that I will know that is tool number one to changing your mental place is accountability. Also put that definition up. But being accountable for how you feel and your actions, and remember, your actions will have an outcome. So if you're doing things that have negative outcomes, that may put you in a negative mindset. It'll also help exacerbate your ability to make negative and poor choices. If you notice with any of your friendships or just anyone around you or even yourself, you do things usually generally in a pattern. 24 hours in a day, and I promise you what you did today is probably going to do some similar shit tomorrow. So we do things in a pattern. If you practice a certain type of, right now I'm practicing yoga. Each week it gets easier, and at one point in time it was hard. But I'm also the type of person that I like doing things that are hard so I can figure out how to do them. At one point in time, we'll say at 28 years old, I did not like to be wrong. Being wrong, I would just lie to be right, and I would lie enough to believe the lie so that in believing the lie, I wasn't wrong anymore. Now, I enjoy being wrong. Being wrong and humble gives you the ability to be in one area of surety and find yourself sure of a new concept in the same area. And there's nothing better than actually being right if you want to have the right answers to, say, your questions, others' questions, or just feeling whole with yourself as far as mentally connected. You know things, you know where you're going. You are the GPS, if that makes sense. All right. The second concept that I use to change my soul, to change my vibration, to change my internal energy, is exercise. The reason that exercise is so important, I understand that we live in a world full of technology and air conditioning and other comforts. But at one point in time, just to eat, we'd have to do something physical, some sort of way to acquire abundance. But there really was no abundance because you had to, if you wanted to eat meat, you're going to have to go ahead and catch some animals, and you ain't got no guns. So good luck. You're going to be physically capable to do these things. Before we had tractors, we had people. In fact, the reason slavery was so popular is because we didn't have tractors. So just think about it that way. Somebody's got to hoe the land or till the land to plant crops to feed a whole bunch of other people. Or just your own land to feed you. But nonetheless, it's going to take physical work to eat. So just in the nature of who we are as human beings, you have to be physically capable to do whatever it takes to survive. because your basic necessities are met without you having to use your basic instincts, your basic survival mechanisms, that debilitates your soul as well. And that's just societally. That's just part of how it goes. More comfort, lower, I'd say, ability to do yourself. More comfort's a bit less than the ability for you to do it yourself. But we do need these tools, so I won't get into any debates there. But the reason to be physically fit is because you're basically bringing yourself to a sweat expels a lot of different toxins. Getting the bad oil out, changing that oil, is going to just make you feel better in general. Everything is in a cycle. You're in a cycle, so you need to cycle the proper minerals, nutrients, and exercises. You need blood flow. You need to encourage these things in your body, because this is what your body consists of. Number 3, your basic routine. Just think about it in a weekly fashion. What are you doing each day besides just going to work, if you're even going to work? You have to have a weekly, daily, monthly, consistent routine in the cycle of your natural life. So, for example, you get up, you go to work. If you have kids, boom, okay, you got kids. But some way, somehow, find a way to get exercise in there. Also, find a way to do activities that feed you internally. So, if there's certain concepts that you want to inquire about, we have the internet, so we do have these comforts. We do have this instant. No one has to be smart because you got a smartphone. So it's a terrible good thing. In this sense, delve deeper into your passions. Find out what it is that you're interested in on your base level when you are flowing through your computer, or you are just out and about. If you're out and about and you like butterflies, you should probably really get into butterfly. I'll put the definition up. But you should study bugs. But do things that will feed you internally. For instance, me, I have many different hobbies besides just exercise that help build my mental character. It's not all about vanity, etc. for me. It's about being whole internally, all the way around.